Dark Magician fam, and what's up YouTube fam? Welcome back to another video touching on post tournament. I will be explaining what happened. I'll go through the deck profile real quick. It'll take like, I want to say like 7 minutes, 7 or like 5 minutes. I'll go through the deck profile and I'll explain to you all what happened. So stay tuned. Sorry, I'm drinking water, but stay tuned. Always stay hydrated. And yeah, let's get into the deck profile. Obviously, you're starting off with 2 DM standard, 1 DMG standard. Those are your big bricks. Your 3 Magician's Rod. And by the way, I did hear about the support, so we'll talk more about that later after this video ends. 3 Magician Souls. 2 Illusion Chaoses. We're going to get into the Dogmatica package. Now, I did look up Maximus while I was at the tournament. I had a dilemma talk with a Dogmatica player, and we discussed Maximus potentially looking into this deck, but that's hindsight. Maximus is really good. 1 Fleur Release. And then 1 Fallen Albaz. And then when we get into the spells, we'll get right into it immediately. 1 Brain Infusion for the 1 Fallen Albaz. Like I said, I'll explain more about this deck after the deck profile. Hope you all are having a great day, because I am. 2 Soul Servants. I cut it down to 3 to 2. 1 Circle. So I'm trying to move my side. There we go. Got the Secret of Dark Magic. The new one. The other one was cut down the middle. 1 Eternal Soul, for obvious reasons.
I'll be back.
2 Preparation. Yeah, love you. 2 Preparation of Rites. Great card. I wanted to run it at 3, but I needed to add a few cards into this deck in order to keep it 44 cards. Shocker, the deck's a 44 card deck. 3 Nadir Servants. One of the best cards in this deck, in my opinion. Yeah, let me pull this out real quick. This was added at the last minute, and it won me a few rounds, so I don't regret putting Secret Village back in here with Terraforming. It's just so powerful. I didn't realize that Winda, I forgot for a split second, Winda is a spellcaster, so this is just a really good package. For the trap cards, well, these are for the hand traps now. 3 Imperms. Yeah, 3 Imperms. There we go. 3 Imperms. The Shadal Schism. And then we'll get into the hand traps. That does include the Imperms, which is 2 Nibiru. Let's run these. I don't have my 3rd copy, otherwise I'll run 3. I would have ran 3. 2 Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs. I couldn't, like I said, I couldn't find my 3rd Ash. Man, I mean, 2 Drolling Lockbird, 1 Effect and 1 Ghost Bell. And then last and finally, Cross Out and Call By. That is the main. And now we get to the side. All right, we're looking at 3 drop lists for the side starting off. Great side, probably the best side of the weekend, in my opinion, from Post-Indiana Regionals. 3 Lancias, didn't have to side it in once, unfortunately. Actually, I did, and I just didn't see it. 3 evenly matches, yes, I did change up my side. I'll explain, like I said, I'll explain everything after I list everything. Ghost Bell, a Ghost Sister, and Spooky Dogwood at 3. And last, D-Barrier. And then on to the extra deck. Extra deck, we're going to start off with Artemis, the Moon Maiden. The Moon Maiden, running at 1, obviously. Move this out the way, thank you. Dark Charmer, the Gloomy. Lina, the Light Charmer. And then you ran the SP and IP. SP and IP came up a lot this regionals, and Lina came up way more than Dark Charmer, which I'm very surprised. Well, I'm not. It's Rizio. Celine came up 3 times in my games that I played. Access Code obviously came up 3 times. Abomination came up 0. Underworld Goddess came up 0 as well. But like I said, I'll explain why. Dragoon, Dark Magicians, Mirror Jade, Lebellion to Mirror Jade and Dragoon, and finally Winda and Apcalone. Yeah, time to get to the explanation of this deck and why I went this route that I went. So this is deck profile. Obviously, you can skip the rest of the video if you want. But if you want to hear the explanation of what happened, because this is a post-tournament video, just start at 5:45. First and foremost, I want to say shout out to the YCS champion, recent YCS new champion. Cool guy. We chat and talked it up, and he said this deck is hindsight. But he said this deck can catch a lot of other decks off. He said it's not bad on paper at all. I did 4 deck profiles for 4 other people. Like, well, not 4 other people, but like all my matches that I played that day. Unfortunately, I went 0-3, but I did have a lot of important data that I want to share with you guys. From post ban list, obviously. This is for the post ban list. I went against Ryziel, Voiceless Boy, Voiceless Voice, Mitsurugi Ryziel, Voiceless Voice. In the last deck, I'm trying to remember. Not Mitsurugi. What was it? It was Malice. Game 1 was Malice. Second game was Voiceless Voice, and third game was Ryziel Mitsurugi. All games went to round 3. Went to a game 3. Grind game, but I couldn't get to the end game. Like, I couldn't get to the last 5 minutes of the round. That's what made this card, if I could pull it back up, this what made this card extremely questionable in my side. Because I don't know if I want to keep this any longer, like, anymore. And that, we'll have a conversation about this. This video is going to be about 40 minutes. We're going to have a long discussion, honestly. First things first. The cards that will be getting removed. Excuse me, the cards that got removed from this deck heading into the regionals that I kind of regret I removed. All these cards. I felt like the theme of this deck was so rooted. Getting rid of Cosmic Cyclone and Harpy Feather Duster when I needed back row hate. Not desperately, but I just needed back row hate. I didn't have it. Evenly matchable isn't good in this format. Bond between teacher and student and Dark Burning Magic. I think this is such a good counter for a lot of decks, especially if they negate Magician Souls in the search of Preparation of Rites, which Preparation of Rites got negated twice this weekend. Something to think about. Running it at 3 could be a great bait, so I can get my Illusion to Chaos effect off. It could be a great Ash bait because they got Ash twice, and it got Monster negated once. But yeah, these are the cards I took out. I'll talk more about these cards later. Cards that will be getting removed from this deck. Let's get the energy moving. Let's get the blood flowing. First and foremost, cards that are getting removed from the main deck will be the following: Nibiru. I think this card is a side deck only card for Dark Magician. I can never see this card being in the main unless I change the formula of this deck, which I'll talk more about. Like I said, I'll talk more about my deck overall later in the video, and the direction I'll be going, I'll be going into with Dark Magician, because I was up when the new deck support came out 7 minutes ago. I was up like around 12-ish when it came out. So I was looking at my deck profile before I left, trying to find new cards, and then I stumbled across it. Anyways, that's the ramble. It's debatable, depending on the new deck profile, it's debatable if Ash will be in the main. Yeah, this will be debatable. I don't really have much to say about Ash. Ash is just a great overall card, the second best hit drop in the meta. Dimensional Barrier, Dimensional Shifter got banned, so this will get cut. I think Effect Veiler. I didn't see a cross out my 3 games. All my 3 games, I didn't see a single cross out, and I didn't run into a Blue Eyes player. There were some Blue Eyes players next to me, though. I think every game I had was a Blue Eyes player in my vicinity. So it's not like I wasn't seeing Blue Eyes. I just, quite frankly, didn't go against the Blue Eyes players. Otherwise, I would be 2-1, and I wouldn't have lost those 3 games. But that's hindsight. I had great hands at the tournament, by the way. If you guys are wondering, I didn't break at all. Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion will be a side. I want this in my main for obvious reasons, like being Druid Sworn, Call by, all that stuff, bro. All that beautiful stuff. Droll will be in the side as well. Droll is going to be at 3 in the side, actually. It won't be at 2 because Droll is such a great card in this meta, and Droll does a lot to a lot of decks. It does a lot. The effectiveness on Droll is just stupid. Cross out will most likely be put to the side as well. Call by will stay in the main. I didn't see it at all, but it will stay in the main. I don't have no choice. And the card MVP of the tournament was Nadir Servant, but Nadir Servant couldn't do anything. It did what it was supposed to do, but it's not like Nadir Servant was shaking things up. Nadir's a great card, but the situations that I was in made Nadir Servant seem like Nadir Servant was useless. So yeah, I mean, you run the cross out only if you're using hand traps, obviously. 3 or more hand traps of different types, including Imperm. Speaking of Imperm, I'm trying to grab the 3rd Imperm. Imperm staying in the main. That's a non-negotiable, mainly because of Imperm's impact on the game. And you must be thinking, since I'm running Imperm in the main, would I want to run Ash Blossom in the main? I mean, only if these 2 are here, and that's it. That would be it, bro. The rest goes in the side. Get my 3rd Ash Blossom. Get my 3rd Ash Blossom. But yeah, it was just abysmal. The only hand traps I was really seeing was these 4 hand traps. Not even trolling. I didn't see Droll this entire weekend in my main. Not a single time did I see Droll and Lockbird, which was depressing. It's a 44 card deck, but I just didn't see Droll. It is what it is. You win some, you lose some. You do good at locals, and then you play like buns at regionals because your hands don't hand. All right, let's get into the next problem with this deck. What you are looking at is 22 cards exactly, and these and I'm going to list the following cards that are going to be added, like the current either copies that are being added more, the copies being deducted, which is less, and the copies that are being completely removed from this deck profile. First and foremost, let's get the elephant out the room. We're removing Brand Fusion and Fallen Albaz. Quite frankly, one of the best runs I've had. One of the best runs I've had with Dark Magician, and Brand Fusion is just not powerful enough anymore. I have a better chance running Ref. But with the new support, obviously I will pick it up, obviously. Get the new support, boys. Speaking of new support, get it. The new support is so powerful. I was reading up on it that night of. I read up on it some more, and the fusion, the Dark Magician fusion that requires the Dark Magician, and I think here I want to see if I can pull this up on my computer. Hold on, give me a second shot. Yeah, the fusion that requires a Spellcaster and Dark Magician, or anything along those lines, that card is really good. You have the other fusion that's a bit, it's okay, I guess. It's not all that. You have the quick spell that allows you to fusion summon the level 6. I think it's 6 or higher spellcaster, dark spellcaster. I think, which I think it's really, really good for Dark Magician. I mean, you get these cards in the graveyard off of Magician's Souls. That will be a card I'll be adding to this deck. I'll slide it in later in the video. But these cards are going to be a lot more valuable because these cards are getting removed from the deck to the graveyard in many ways, and I will show you those many ways. Preparation of Rites is going back to 3. It was a mistake to play this at 2. Especially with the new support, that'll be going to 3. It might stay to 2, but I think 3 is a healthy amount, especially for Magician's Souls to dump. Soul Servant as well, going back to 3. I see nothing wrong with this card. Going back to 3, especially with the hand traps being removed. Most of the hand traps being removed from the main. Rod staying at 3 mainly because it has more searchers. Like, it can search for more now, which is, makes Rod a perfect 3 now. Magician Soul's undeniably at 3, obviously. Illusion stays at 2. Let's talk about Dogmatica. So, I have to swallow my pride. It is what it is. Dogmatica is, I wouldn't say a fraud, but Dogmatica is an engine that it's great to have, but is it worth to have? The quickest answer I can give you is yes, it's worth to have, mainly because of this. Let me pull this out real quick. Sorry, chat. Making it easy access to get the Lina is probably the saving grace of this entire regionals because I saw Lina every single game against light decks. That's huge for me. That's huge for them. Not so much because I kept pooping on that Rizio player actually, and went to game 3 and I just didn't see any hand traps and boom, bada bang, bada boom. He just won. Simple. He had too much gas, so it is what it is. Game 2, I stomped him. All because of Dogmatica. Dogmatica just did everything, bro. But yeah, I would probably cut Ecclesia down to 2 and run it like this, which I think is the proper analysis to go about it. If I'm running her at 3, I need to run Punishment. And if I'm running her at 3, I can possibly run Fluid Release at 2. The reason why I say that, chat, is because I've never bricked with this card. This card I've never bricked with. People say I shouldn't run this at 2. I mean, from my experience, I've never bricked with this card. But, yeah, it just depends on the player, bro. I don't know. It just depends on the player. But I would remove and have 2, obviously. Other than that, I think the main deck is fine. And then obviously the cards I didn't mention that it's gonna stay is Nadir Servant stays at 3. Circle and Secret of Dark Magic stays at 1. Eternal Soul stays at 1. Salvage stays at 1. Shadal Schism stays at 1. Secret Village stays. Terraforming. Great side, great, easy to side out. I don't know. Some of these cards are easy to side out. I sided out Rod at 1 and ran it at 2, and it was still the deck was still consistent because I was searching with Prep and Illusion. So I don't know. I think the side for this deck is really good. In the main. But that's it. Let's talk about cards that are going to be added to this deck temporarily before I get my new support. So obviously, third preparation is coming back at 3, so let's put that back up there. Since hand traps are being removed, we can finally put this back in the main. I like this a lot. It does a lot. Surprisingly, it's not weak at all, in my opinion. Especially if you, because when you activate Magician Souls and Rod, both of them gets ashed or gets negated. There's no way they're stopping the bond between teacher and student. And no, bond between teacher and Drone Lockbird does not stop bond between teacher and student because Dark Burning Magic gets set. Especially some of the Dark Magician girl from the deck. You're not drawing cards at all with that card. So that's what makes it great to get around draw. Judgment's coming back to 3. Yeah, it's Judgment. Fool's Burial. We're gonna practice with this card a lot online as well, mainly because I want to get used to sending my bricks to the grave because of the new spell. Fool's Burial is so good, especially for the new spell. Read it. Great card. And then I'll pull out some more cards, obviously, that could potentially be in the main. Real quick, I do need to talk about something that needs to be addressed for the Dark Magician community. We may, keyword, may be eligible to run our Exceeds again. This is a very great time for Dark Magician to be able to run their Exceeds again. And be able to just, quite frankly, go Omega. We'll be going Plus in this deck. Not by much, but just enough to run ranks. If you want to run rank 7s again, here are the options. Mind Hacker's ban, obviously. And then there's a new one. There's a new rank 7 That's for the babies. The freaking what deck is it? You get what I'm saying. The rank sevens. It's not Dark Ruler. You get what I'm saying. They have the 4 babies, 3 babies, and then they have Tempest Dragon, and the rest of the dragons, the big boys. So yeah, these are great. My Zeus is in my binder. I didn't pull it out, but you can go into Zeus after you summon these cards. You can keep them. You can do whatever you want with these Exceeds. These Exceeds are like so powerful for this deck. I would, like I said, I wouldn't bat an eye. But no. Other than that, let's get into the other cards that I will be adding to the side slash I might consider main. Super Poly is easily going to be in the side. I'm going to get my other 2 Super Polys. I have yet to pick up Super Polys. I've never ever picked up a Super Poly set of Super Polys, which is not so Dark Magician-y. Great card. I have Muddy Mud Dragon. I need to get Garua, and yeah, there's nothing more that needs to be said. Super Poly is one of the greatest cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's hard to argue with that. It's hard to argue with that statement. We're gonna get into other cards that may go back in the side. Just pulling them back real quick, pulling them out of the thing. There we go. Also something that's going in this extra deck. Back in the extra deck at 2, Dragoon. With this new support, I have all 3 of my Dragoons, by the way. I have all 3 of them. So, I'm going to run Dragoon at 2 when I get the support. Dragoon is broken. Mara Jade is going to get removed, unfortunately. I didn't mention that, but Mara Jade and Lebellion is getting removed because of branded, which opens up a lot of room for the extra deck. So, I'm happy about that. Kaijus, or any of your 2 or 3 Kaijus, add to your side. This video isn't going to be pretty long, but I just do want to specify that if you're going to play DM, here I'll put my camera down. If you're going to play DM, just keep in mind that picking up Primate cards, picking up the Bestials cards, and just quite frankly playing either pure DM. Well, I wouldn't say play pure DM. You can. It's not trash. Just don't run 3 DMGs. Never run 3 DMGs. Never run 2 Dark Magician Girls. You can run 3 Illusions, 3 Preparations. Bomb between teacher and student. Dark Burning Magic. Ra at 3. Magician Souls at 3. Eternal Soul Circle, both at 1. Soul Servant at 3. The new spell at 2. The new quick effect spell, Fusion at 2. You probably want to run the other ritual spell at 1. I didn't really read up on it, but I'm assuming it's a ritual / fusion card. I didn't read up on it. You would probably want to run that card at 1. You run the fusion card, both the new fusions at 1 in the extra deck. Shout out to Loza. That's why I know about that. And that's it. I mean, let's go back to the links for a second. What links are staying? Sorry, Joe. Artemis has to stay. We don't have a link 1, and unfortunately, I could be wrong. I'll check one more time, but I'm pretty sure we don't have a link 1. Still don't have one. Dark Charmer stays. Alina stays. IP stays. And the IP is more powerful now because Brand is gone, which is great. Since Brand is gone, we can fusion summon, and we don't have to worry about being stuck in the fusions. Yeah, so IP's stronger. SP becomes a lot more stronger. Links become stronger when Branded leaves. That's the one thing that was holding my linkage stuff down, was because of Branded. Celine has to stay mandatory. Access has to stay mandatory. The mandatory stays are access code, Celine, SP's mandatory. Don't care what y'all say. IP isn't mandatory. Isn't. In this deck, in the new deck profile, she's mandatory. I don't know why I'm saying that. Line is mandatory as long as light cards are in the meta, no matter what. Light monsters are in the meta, she's mandatory. Dark Charmer mandatory for Dark Magician, obviously, and Artemis. I'm cutting Abomination. We're gonna run Topologic Bomber. Let's see if I can get this real quick. Give me a second. I have it. I have like both of them. I have the Zorobos and the Bomber. The Zorobos is in my it's in my tin. I grabbed the wrong binder. Hope to see you guys at the Nats next month. I will be there. I already have my invitation for WCQ. So yeah. So get your invitations while you can. Mandatory. Please do. Here it is. I'm gonna show you why this works in DM. Topologic Bomber Dragon. This card specifically and mainly works if you can set up the Salvation, Eternal Soul, which is not hard. Eternal Soul, Dark Magician. Let's read this card, shall we? If another monster special summon to this zone it is linked monster points to, while this monster is on the field, destroy all monsters in the main monster zone. Also, your other monsters cannot attack for the rest of this turn after damage calculation. If this card attacked an opponent's monster, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the monster's original attack. So, but yes, you run this card obviously with Eternal Soul. So what you do is you'll go to battle, you'll attack with your monsters, right? And Eternal Soul, last minute, bring him there. You can either do this before battle, honestly. If you want damage that damn desperately, you attack your monsters into it, and then Topologic Bomber, yada, yada, yada. But if you want to skip battle, you could Eternal Soul, blow everything up, obviously. Great card for it. It helps clean up the board. It's a do-it-all-purpose card. I don't know why I didn't decide to play it over Abomination. Maybe because I read Abomination Destruction Effects and was like, yeah, it's better than Topologic Bomber, which is false. So, Topologic Bomber will be replacing Abomination. So, yeah. Underworld Goddess will stay. It just didn't do anything yesterday. I know what Underworld Goddess can do. Underworld Goddess is super underrated. Obviously, like I said, Dragoon going to 2. This stays. For sure, it stays. Mirror Jade and Libellion gets cut. And then you can't not deny Winda and Apcolone. For all the players, how do I say this? For all the players that don't play Nadir Servant or doesn't dump with Extra Foolish Burial, well, you can't set Schism after you activate Extra Foolish Burial. But you can't deny the value that this card brings for the deck. This card brings so much value for any deck. Winda is just a very powerful card, and it forces people to go into battle early without fully comboing, because you can't fully combo under Winda unless you just impermit or something, which not Secret Village, but it hasn't came up to where I got an imperm with Winda. It hasn't came up, but it can. With the new deck profile, it won't be able to, because Solemn Judgment will be a factor. A very strong factor. But yeah, that's really it for this deck profile, chat. There's not much to really talk about. I will say, let's talk about the games. Going into game 3 against Raizio Mitsurugi, what I realized is that if you stop their entire Mitsurugi combo, they'll just special summon X. And then yeah, from there I couldn't stop anything, bro. I didn't even if I had a nib to stop it, even if I had troll, not troll. But when I Ashton impermed him for his Mitsurugi cards, he summoned X. If I had a nib or had another imperm, it wouldn't be so hard to stop the deck. It wouldn't. But guess what? That's 3 interruptions right there for my hand, and only 2 cards in my hand and a top deck. You expect Dark Magician to really pop off, and you're really hoping Dark Magician has Illusion. You better pray Illusion to Chaos of Preparations is in hand with the Rod Arm Magician Souls next to it. Otherwise, you're not doing much. You could have Rod and then the Nadir Servant in hand, but that's hindsight. Like I said, like I'm saying, most of this is hindsight. You're most likely going to see a dead card in hand or a brick in hand if you're Dark Magician players, if you know, and things along those lines. It is what it is. Like I said, the deck performed well, just not to the standards that I would hope it would have, because the hand traps were not hand trapping. like I said, Impermanent 3, Ash. If I can find my third Ash, and the rest goes to the side. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6 cards going, not 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 cards going in the side. Call by stays in the main. Fool's Burial, Solemn Judgments, and Call by. That's 5 cards right there added to the main. Well, that's 4 cards added to the main out of the 6 cards that I took out. Actually, no. Dark Burning Magic and Bomb Between Two Turns. Yeah, so that's 6 cards right there. I think those cards are going to do a lot better. It's a lot more ideal for this deck than just having hand traps. Hand traps don't make this deck ass. It's just Dark Magician's a lot better off with spells and trap cards than just having hand traps. At least I know I'm going to either set or I'm going to activate those spells compared to sitting there and just having a dead card in hand and not, because I'm not discarding a lot in my hand. I don't even have Brain Infusion at 3 to discard for cost. Unless I'm doing fucking the Dear Servant, Abcalon discard after you add. So, other than that, chat, that's really it, man. Great duels. I'm not upset or anything. I'm just a little exhausted from the tournament still. Thank you all so much for staying in tune to the YouTube video. I don't say this often, but like and subscribe. I see my viewers coming back. I see people watching the videos. I actually see you guys. I will be responding to any comments relating to Dark Magician. And stay in tuned. I'll be doing a deck analysis and a deck update once a week. Like I said, I'll be posting the video at least once a week until I can get my YouTube to be more consistent. So I can be more consistent. So I can get back into the algorithm. But yeah, love you all so much. You guys are the best. Take care. Brush your hair. Take care. Brush your hair. Stay hydrated. Stay healthy. And as always, Evolution Tay signing off. Peace.